All right, hey there. This is Mrs. Chabot. This is for my intermediate algebra class. I have had a few requests on a little bit more of a refresher on fractions than was provided in the my math lab videos. So here's a few additional examples, mostly focusing on adding and subtracting fractions. So adding and subtracting fractions, remember the main thing is you need to have a common denominator. So if you don't already have a common denominator, start by finding the least common denominator. The LCD of 3 and 6 is 6. So you want to manipulate these fractions so that they both have a denominator of 6. Okay, so the 2/3 you need to multiply by 2 over 2, giving us 4/6 plus the 1/6 is already all set. 4 plus 1 is 5. Keep the common denominator, reduce if possible, but in this case 5/6 is all set. All right, so for this one, 2/7 plus 1/2. First, find the LCD. The least common multiple of 7 and 2 is 14. So you want to get both of these to have a denominator of 14. All right, so which should I multiply 7 by to get 14? I should multiply by 2. So multiply them by 2 over 2. What should we multiply 2 by to get a denominator of 14? In this case, 7, so we'll multiply by 7 over 7. And this is going to give us 4/14 for the first fraction plus 7/14 for the second fraction. Now we're ready to add those together. 4 plus 7 is 11 over our common denominator of 14. Again, I can't reduce, so we get 11/14. All right, for 2/9 plus 1/6, again, I'm adding fractions, so I need a common denominator. What's the LCD of 9 and 6? Well, the least common multiple of 9 and 6 would be 18, right? Think 9, 18. Now, that's also a multiple of 6, so we're all set there. What do I need to multiply the 2/9 by to get a denominator of 18? I need to multiply by 2 over 2. Plus the 1/6, what do I need to multiply the 1/6 by to get a denominator of 18? I need to multiply by 3 over 3. All right, so 2/9 turns into 4/18 plus 1/6 we're rewriting as 3/18. Adding those together, 4 plus 3 is 7, and a denominator of 18. Again, I can't reduce, so I'm left with 7/18. All right, and then finally 1/4 minus 1/8. My LCD here would be 8. So the 1/4, to get a denominator of 8, I need to multiply by 2 over 2. Minus the 1/8 already has a denominator of 8. So we get 2/8 minus 1/8, which gives us 1/8, which again cannot be reduced. All right, but when can I reduce? We'll see that on the next topic, which is multiplying and dividing fractions. Now, when you're multiplying and dividing, you do not need a common denominator, right? I need a common denominator when I'm adding and subtracting. To multiply fractions, you just essentially multiply straight across. So for 5 times 1/10, think of 5 in fraction form is 5 over 1, and I want to multiply by 1/10. So you could multiply straight across and then reduce, but what would be better is look to see if you can reduce ahead of time. Are there any common factors in the numerator along with the denominator? There are, so I would reduce. 5 goes into 5 once, 5 goes into 10 twice. Now I'll multiply. 1 times 1 is 1, over 1 times 2 is 2. So this reduces to 1/2. And finally, to divide fractions, we're going to change division to multiplication of the reciprocal and then multiply like we just talked about. So if I want to take 1/11 divided by 2/7, I'm dividing by a fraction. So I'm going to change it to multiplication. So keep the 1/11, change the division to multiplication of the reciprocal of 2/7 is 7/2. Now we're ready to multiply straight across. So first, look to see if we can reduce. Are there any common factors in the numerator with the denominator? There are not, so we're ready to multiply. 1 times 7 is 7. 11 times 2 is 22. So we get 7/22. All right, and I just want to finish up with a specific question that I was asked from a problem in my math lab in section 1.3. So the question is -3/5 minus -4/15. Well, I'm adding or subtracting fractions, so I know that I need to get a common denominator. But first, let's deal with that minus a negative. So let's change this to -3/5 plus 4/15. My LCD is the least common multiple of 5 and 15, which is 15. So I need to get a common denominator of 15. To get a common denominator of 15 here, I need to multiply by 3/3. And I don't need to do anything to the 4/15. All right, so at this point, -3/5 we can rewrite as -9/15 plus 4/15. We're ready to add together. Let's see. -9 plus 4 gives us -5/15. And then lastly, check to see if you can reduce. And then finally, on this one, we can reduce. There's a common factor of 5 in the numerator and the denominator. So we get -1/3. Okay, so that's going to reduce to -1/3. All right, so I will stop there and just let me know if you have other questions regarding fractions, but hopefully that helped a bit.